There came an age when the worlds trembled under the weight of a tyrant. The mighty Asura king Tarakasura, swollen with power and arrogance, held sway over gods and men. Temples crumbled under his armies. Mountains bowed under the fires he unleashed. Sages hid in forests, praying for deliverance. The gods, unable to withstand him, fled from their celestial cities and gathered around Lord Brahma, the granter of boons. "What curse have you placed upon us?" cried Indra. "Is there no end to his strength?" Brahma sighed, for he himself had granted Taraka his terrifying power. The Asura had once endured dreadful penance, standing unmoving amidst lightning, winds, and famine. After ages of austerity, Brahma had appeared before him in blazing glory. "What do you desire, child of the earth?" Taraka bowed and answered with cunning foresight. "Grant me that I may be invincible to all, but let me fall only to a son born of Shiva, for the Lord of Kailasa dwells in eternal meditation, and will never father a child." Brahma had no choice but to approve, bound by the laws of merit. Thus was sown the seed of a calamity that shook the three worlds. Taraka's shadow spread like a plague. He dethroned Indra, cast Agni into hiding, and mocked the cosmic order. At last, the gods journeyed to Kailasa, where Lord Shiva remained lost in the stillness of infinite meditation. Beside him, silent and steadfast, sat goddess Parvati, whose devotion never wavered. They fell at their feet and cried, "Only a son born of both of you can defeat the doomed demon. Save creation." Shiva opened his eyes that could birth worlds or dissolve them, and saw the suffering that blanketed existence. A resolve, gentle yet infinite, rose within him. Thus began the chain of events destined to reshape heaven and earth. From the third eye of Shiva burst forth a torrent of blazing energy. Not mere flame, but pure cosmic vitality, too intense for even the heavens to contain. The fire surged like a comet across the sky. Agni, god of fire, tried to hold it, but even he staggered under its weight. Fearing dissolution, he carried the divine spark into the realms of nature, seeking a place capable of receiving such power. At last he reached the sacred Saravana lake, surrounded by forests untouched by time. Water spirits rose trembling from its depths, yet they opened their embrace to the fiery seed. As the spark touched the waters, it split. Once, twice, thrice, until 6 brilliant flames hovered above the reeds, each transforming into a radiant infant boy. The universe celebrated in silence, destiny had taken form. Drawn by the divine phenomenon, the 6 Kritikas, starborn mothers of the cosmos, descended from the heavens. Each lifted one of the glowing children in her arms. Though born of fire, the infants calmed under their gentle touch. For days without number, the Kritikas raised them, sang to them, and filled them with the wisdom of starlight. Each child grew strong, graceful, and pure-hearted. When goddess Parvati arrived at the lake, she beheld 6 boys of identical beauty, each calling to her with wordless love. Her heart overflowed, for they were all fragments of the son she was destined to mother. In an act of supreme divine power, she gathered them into her arms. And the 6 bodies merged into one. The 6 minds wove into unity. The 6 hearts became a single rhythm. Thus arose a magnificent child with 6 faces, an untold radiance. Shiva named him Skanda. The Kritikas named him Kartikeya. The sages called him Guha, the secret one. To the world, he became Murugan, the eternally youthful. Kartikeya's upbringing was the work of the entire cosmos. From Shiva, he learned the stillness that precedes thunder. From Parvati, he absorbed compassion as deep as the ocean. From Indra, he gained mastery of celestial warfare. From Brahma, he received knowledge of creation's rhythms. From Vishnu, he learned strategy, patience, and unshakable righteousness. His mount, the mighty peacock Paravani, hatched from the egg of a celestial bird slain by his radiant birth fire, served as his loyal companion. Armed with the sacred vel, a spear forged from Parvati's own Shakti, he stood tall as a warrior whose purpose was carved into the bones of fate. Soon, news of him spread throughout the heavens. A child of incredible light has arisen. A warrior destined to end Tarakasura's reign. Taraka, hearing of the boy's birth, laughed in scorn. Let him come. I gained my power through ages of fire and sacrifice. No child of gods will unseat me. He summoned his armies of asuras, creatures born from the shadows of ambition, and unleashed them upon the world. Whole kingdoms fell. The oceans churned. Even the mountains trembled beneath the march of his soldiers. But destiny, once awakened, can never be silenced. At the dawn of a crimson morning, Kartikeya rode forth atop his peacock, his 6 faces radiant with calm determination. Behind him marched the Devas, their spirits rekindled by hope. As they neared Taraka's stronghold, the skies thundered and the earth groaned. The battlefield stretched across the plains like a scar carved between heaven and hell. Taraka strode out, towering like a storm made flesh. You dare challenge me, boy, he roared. Kartikeya's 6 faces spoke in unison, a voice filled with divine resonance. I do not come for glory. I come because Dharma must rise again. Then began a battle whispered in the hymns of sages for ages thereafter. Taraka's mace shattered mountains, but Kartikeya deflected it with a single flick of his vel. The Asura conjured storms of poison and fire, yet the 6-faced god dissolved them with his radiant aura. Armies clashed around them, but the center of the field burned with the heat of their duel. At last, when the world seemed to hold its breath, Kartikeya raised the vel high. It became a streak of pure light. A spear of destiny, truth, and divine wrath. With a cry that echoed across the 3 worlds, he hurled it. The vel struck Taraka's heart, shattering both the boon and the arrogance that shielded him. The tyrant fell, the earth quaking beneath his massive form. Silence descended. Then, as dawn broke anew, the gods raised their voices in victory. Peace returned to the cosmos. Sacred fires were rekindled. Sages resumed their prayers. The heavens shone once more with unclouded luminance. Kartikeya, the child of 6 flames, became a beacon for all ages. A symbol of bravery, for he fought not with hatred but with purpose. A symbol of goodness, for his heart remained pure though forged in fire. A guardian of Dharma, ever youthful and ever radiant. A warrior of compassion, whose strength protected the weak. Thus the world remembers him, not as a god of war alone, but as the flame that illuminates darkness. The child of love and power. The conqueror of chaos. The Epic of Karthikeya lives on, wherever courage rises and goodness prevails.